It was a
So
great time.
we're at
Mhm.
27 minutes. I don't know how long you want to do this here,
Well,
but
anyway, I mean, we're
maybe
not going to go too
part
long,
two, or
huh?
you want to do part one and then part two,
Well,
or you
we
want?
could do that. If anybody in the chat has a question for
Yeah.
Vince or me, go ahead and ask, and we'll do that. And well, why don't you tell us what's going on in your life now? You did Sigonella. What was your other duty station after you left Sig? You went
Oh,
to Rota. I mean,
Rota, Spain.
you
So I
went to
was,
Spain, okay?
yeah,
And you worked a lot of FizSec in Spain because of your experience from FizSec and Sigonella.
that is correct.
Okay.
And it was a great experience there. I eventually joined an embark security team, a
You were
12 man.
on the boats, Harbor Patrol.
Right, and well, these ones were a unique one because what was happening was the boats that were civilian boats, military sea lift command boats
Yeah.
that were traveling. They were taking personnel and certain supplies to the war in Iraq,
Yeah.
and there was a threat of them terrorists, pirates,
Yeah.
taking over their ships, and there were some examples of that. So Donald Rumsfeld at the time, he was the Secretary of Defense. He created this thing called Operation Vigilant Mariner. And it was embarked security teams that were created to ride these civilian ships, and some of them military sea lift
For
commands.
protection against piracy,
Yeah.
anti-piracy.
So during the choke points, like from southern Spain through the
Straits of Hormuz.
Yep, the Straits of Hormuz, or the Straits of Gibraltar, the Straits of Sicily.
Gibraltar, yep.
They're all places in the middle of the ocean, where in the Mediterranean, where all of a sudden you see land, and at that point that's where people can come. So I was a part of that team. Kind of a funny story real briefly is I heard that Navy stands for never again volunteer
Myself. Yeah, yourself. Never again volunteer yourself. Navy.
So I was really enjoying the job that I was at, and I was there for about 6 months, and a chief called me in the office and he said, Sanchez, we're gonna have you join this embark security team. He's really talking it up. And I listened and I said, well, I appreciate that, chief, but I'm just not interested, right?
You don't say no to the chief.
Yeah. Well,
no, never. You learned that, did you? You don't say no to the chief ever.
Because he was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is an opportunity for you. I mean, what a patriot would want to do. I said, I'm really liking Spain. I'm really liking the people. And I want to. And he said, well, if that's your decision, I don't want to force you into it. Right. I was like, really? So I leave. I get a call back. Now it's the chief and a lieutenant. Right.
Oh, forget it.
Oh, man. I walk in, have a seat. Sanchez, you've been selected to be a part of the embark security. What the heck?
You've been selected.
I didn't get a chance to turn it down, but it was a really cool thing. Did over 30 some odd missions, stopped counting, probably 38, 39, 40, somewhere around there. Got to go to Turkey, Greece, the Middle East, all over the place. Got to visit again.
Good stuff.
We were part of that first team.
And you were fighting piracy.
Yeah.
And you always knew from the moment I met you when you first came in, you always told me, you're like, Farlow, I'm not going to spend long here. I'm going to do a couple years. I got ambitions. I want to go to college. I want to do certain things. And I was like, all right, man. I was like, damn, I think you're really talented. I think you could really, really go all the way in the Navy. Like, you got a lot of potential, and you had more than I did. That's for sure. And I said, but then, you were always had your mind made up. You're like, I'm here to build my resume, punch my ticket. I mean, I get some college money. I mean, and move on, move on. And that's what you did, but you drew from those skills now, which has brought you into your civilian career, which has brought you to success, which is where you're at.
Yeah, I really do. I run security. What was that? How do I feel?
No. I said you started in the Navy, in the security, in the police field, and you're still in the security field, in the private sector.
Yeah, and when I think about it, and I want folks, your viewers, to understand this. It's about public safety. It's about helping people. I think about that all the time. It's not like, oh, I'm an authority and I'm telling you guys to do this or that. It's about creating a good environment for our families and the environment that we want to be there with each other. I mean, people with bad behavior, they're going to do bad things. and I'm not here to judge people. What I'm here to do is to protect the families and the people that don't want to be touched by certain things. So yeah, I won't go into the locations of what I do and everything.
No, you don't have to do that.
But I will tell you that I'm a director of security, public safety, and
for a very large company.
Yeah, and the area that I oversee is a very important asset to our country, and I think. But I agree. In Maui, Hawaii. I've had an opportunity to do it in San Francisco.
So you've worked, you've been in private. So I'm saying the Navy launched you a career in private security that's now spanned you. You lived in Hawaii and Maui. You lived in San Francisco. I don't know if you want to brag about that. And then, here you are in your new position. I'm not going to dox you, but, and you're very successful there, and you're the director of security, but you know what? After all that stuff, all that greatness that you went on to, all right, you still remembered me.
Yeah.
You always reached out. You searched for me. You found me. You always said, and go ahead and tell them. Go ahead and tell them how much you love me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll tell you, so I think people understand this. When you encounter certain people in your life, they leave a positive mark on you, right? And an experience that give you not only confidence, but also teach you a lot of different things. And in this crazy, complex thing we call life, right? We interact with a lot of different people. And for those that are I don't know if we call them special or not, but the people that have that ability to create those positive relationships, you don't want to let go of them. You don't want to forget them. And they influence you in ways that you don't even, you can't even express, little things, little decisions. And that's the positive thing about, that's the great thing about being a positive influence. Each individual can really make a difference in so many different people's lives. And you can do that for the betterment or negative in a way.
In a negative way,
yeah. So and Rob, for you, I mean, you really you left a real positive mark. So we've touched bases here and there, but I'll tell you what, you're a hard guy to track down the last several years, a few years.
I went dark. I'm
right.
like a fucking CIA agent. I went dark, bro.
Yeah, that's all right. That's sometimes you need to do that. But then you came back, and I'm really, really super proud of you, man. The Stone Sailor, everything that you're doing, everything you talk about, you're continuing on what you're doing, and it's not over.
It's not over.
People are living to 100 now, right? And you're what?
Yeah. I hope I'm one of them.
Yeah. So there's so much life left, and so got a hold of you, and here we are. So I appreciate the time that you're. I
appreciate those kind words. I guess I'll cash app you after those kind words you just said. I mean, that's awesome. I really appreciate that, Vince. And you were always a guy that I always brought with me in my head too, because we had a lot of good times together, and I'm glad I was able to help you in a positive way. All I ever tried to do was corrupt you.
I know.
I always wanted to correct. Remember, I used to tell you, because you were you were kind of like a square kid, right? Yeah. You were square, right? And I'm a city guy, and I'm just like, hey, and your name's Sanchez. And the first thing out of my mind, what's up, Dirty Sanchez? And you're like, excuse me? I'm like, what's up, Dirty Sanchez? I'm like, you know what I'm like, you know what that is? I'm typical Navy asshole, and you're a new guy coming in, some seaman recruit. I'm like, you don't know what that is? Like, you're like, no, I'm the clean Sanchez.
I said that.
And I started laughing so fucking hard because you just took the bullets out of my gun, because I was coming to fuck with you. Yeah. I'm like, look at this fucker. I want to fuck with him. And you're like, no, I'm the clean Sanchez. And I just started laughing. And I knew right then and there, I'm like, this dude, me and him are going to get along, because he turned it around on me. He's got a sense of humor, and I just clicked with him. I'm like, put me with him. I want to work with him. I'll train him, but put him with me, and then so it was really cool, man. Really good stuff.
Yeah. Well, you continue doing what you're doing. Yeah, you just keep inspiring, keep doing what you're doing.
I will. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
And we'll have you back on for sure.
Definitely. You know that there's a lot of different things I think would be valuable. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions or anything?
If anybody's got, someone said very well said, Vince. Oh, I talk. What's going on, bro? How are you, man? I haven't put up any of the comments. I'm here. I want to say shout out to everybody that's watching, and I hope you had an entertaining show. This guy right here is just a first class human being, Vince Sanchez, and let me tell you something. He's definitely me and you, no matter what, I'm going to be in contact with you until I leave this earth. And then maybe even after. We might be friends after that. Who knows? In the next life.
Who knows? You keep doing, the meaning of life. There's all kinds of definitions. People don't know what's going to happen. But it's about the positive relationships that we can maintain. That's got to be right? It's got to be part of it. And got to be. Yeah. So shout out to you and I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thank you, my brother. Good seeing you. All right. Awesome.
All right.
Well, there you have it. One of my, a shipmate. That's a shipmate right there. When I say shipmate, that's a shipmate. And I have a lot of them out there that I've known over 20 years, people that I've come into contact with in the Navy, the relationships I've built. And, you meet a lot of guys, but the ones that were good, I always kept in my inner circle, and he's definitely one of them. And I thank God I had good friends. I really do. I thank God that, I was blessed with good friends, despite any tragedy. I was blessed with some really good friends, and I appreciate it.